This is Mike Dolzer reporting for the Breeze's Quad Talks. Today we're talking to students about what they remember from the tragic bombings on 9/11.
Well, my family was currently living in Long Island at the time, so we were just watching news stories on repeat. And my mom, our house was just on the beach, so my mom decided to turn off the TV because she couldn't take it anymore. So she took me and my younger sister to down to the beach, and I was 4 years old, so I remember like just little glimpses of just like all this smoke and gray across the water. It was horrifying for a 4-year-old to see.
I remember it was really early in the morning in my country in Saudi Arabia. It was a really sad day because we saw the news and we all freaked out. My mom freaked out because she have studied in America, and it affected all of us directly. I'm really sad about what happened. It definitely affected the whole world and had a negative influence on everyone, not only Americans.
I was actually sitting in at my mom's job during the time that it was broadcasted and when it happened, and I remember there was a TV like at the top of the wall, and everyone was watching the channel. And I remember one image. I think it was like firefighters running, and they briefly showed the two buildings, but I didn't really understand what was going on, but I could feel a sense of like immediate urgency in the room. But I didn't really learn about what happened until I got a little bit older.
I remember I was in kindergarten, very little, probably 5 or 6, and I remember my mom picked me up from school. She drove me home, and I remember sitting in front of the TV, watching the TV, and at the time I didn't know what a plane crash was, and I had never ridden on a plane, so I was like amazed and just jaw-dropped at, how this plane would fly into this building, and I actually saw the second crash happen on live television. And honestly, I really had no emotion as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. I just didn't know what it was. But all the smoke and the fire afterwards, I knew it was something bad. But that was pretty much it.
And what effect do you think 9/11 had on the world?
The effect that 9/11 had on the world, I think it was a very big eye-opener to the world at how vulnerable humanity is as a species. The government, sets up protection, Air Force, airspaces for us. They try to protect us as a civilization. And that day, everything just fell through the hole.
We have heightened our security globally and domestically. I think we tend to demonize a lot of the demographic that we think did it. So me being Muslim, me being brown, I feel like there's always this question of my patriotism and whether I belong in America sometimes, just because I feel like a lot of brown Muslims are generalized to have enacted this, tragedy, which I don't think is the case. It was just a small minority of people. I also think it brought about a global kind of connection, both good and bad. I think we definitely connected in a way in which it was one of the biggest tragedies I was born in, and I think that really shaped a lot of the way the world works today.
Lots of security regulations, but also I think a lot of people could say that 9/11 sparked a lot of Islamophobia that still impacts the country today.
I definitely think it affected the world as a whole because, for example, when I came to the United States, I had a lot of people asking me if I got affected by what happened in 9/11, and it definitely affected me. I always remember I've been to New York, I saw all of the names, and I was really sad. It's definitely against humanity, and it's definitely sad.
I think, like in life, a lot of times we come together during moments like that, and I wasn't, old enough to really know what was going on socially at the time, but I'm pretty sure that was something that ended a lot of unnecessary tension between people and allowed them to unify for something that was bigger than them at the time. And I can't say it's carried on all the way till now, but it definitely, halted all the, stuff going on that wasn't as severe as that. Yeah.
It was really insightful hearing from students about what they remember from that tragic day and also how they think it affected the world as a whole. For The Breeze, I'm Mike Dolzer.